It is January 15th, 2014, and you're watching MUTV1.com. I'm Deidre Malone, and this is Dialogue with Deidre. Let me just tell you how important today is to me. Of course, it is the actual birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King. What a great man, and we honor him because a lot of the equality that we have today that exists for African Americans and people of color in general is because he took a stand. So today is his actual birthday, and we will celebrate the holiday on Monday. Another very special man that has this birthday today is my husband, Dr. Patrick Malone. Eddie showed the picture of my boo, okay? And he's probably sitting at home right now laughing. But my husband is an awesome man, and we're celebrating his birthday today. Now, I really wanted to take him out to dinner, Latrivia, but he wanted me to cook. So I guess I'm going to have to be cooking tonight. And so happy birthday, sweetheart. And then also to the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, my Saras, happy Founders Day. And you know, the Bachelors told us, Latrivia, that we can't ski-wee and throw up the finger, but I'm going to ski-wee and throw up the finger. Happy Founders Day, Saras. Today on Dialogue with Deidre, we have a great show. I'm excited to say that I have the chairman of the Shelby County Democratic Party, Mr. Brian Carson, in the studio, and after the break, we're going to come back and talk about an event that's going to be this Saturday, and it's a major fundraiser for the Democratic Party. So Democrats out there that are watching, and if you don't already have your tickets, you need to listen to this because you need to support the party and make sure that you're at this event. So Chairman of the Democratic Party, Brian Carson, is in the house, and we're going to talk about the Kennedy Day event. And you have heard me call her name. She's been on the show before. She actually is the producer of this show, so she can be on the show whenever she wants. Miss Latrivia Nelson, I've mentioned before that she's an author. She is the president and CEO of River House Publishing, and she just dropped a new book, The World in Reverse. And so we're going to have Latrivia come on the show in the second half hour of Dialogue with Deidre and talk about this new book. And let me just say that I've read a couple of chapters, and I think that there are tinges of Memphis throughout this book. So we're going to ask her about that in the second half hour of this show. You are watching Dialogue with Deidre, and we will be back in a moment.
This past year, we all learned the statistics are true. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience child abuse, usually at the hands of someone they know. Child abuse happens every day. Learn the signs and take action, because keeping a child safe is everybody's business. Make a difference. Visit safehorizon.org to find out more. Safe Horizon, moving victims of violence from crisis to confidence.
Did you know that every 34 seconds someone has a heart attack? Every 40 seconds someone has a stroke? But it doesn't have to be that way. Every day there's hope. Join me and the American Heart Association and get serious about your heart and your health. If you're doing nothing, do something. If you're doing something, do more. Find healthy living solutions from the American Heart Association's My Heart, My Life. It's that simple.
I'm Dominique Dawes. How do you start your day? I always start with a healthy breakfast. Whether you're practicing for a game or studying for a test, eating breakfast every day can improve your concentration and help you perform your best. Kids who eat a healthy breakfast have more energy to work hard and play hard. That's why you should check out your school's breakfast program. It's for everyone, so make sure you energize your day. Eat school breakfast.
Taylor Brown is my drugstore.
No, Taylor Brown is my drugstore.
Taylor Brown is our community drugstore.
No hassle transfer, auto refills, as well as a $4 generic program. Taylor Brown offers deliveries to all customers, including care homes, senior citizens, and hospice.
Taylor Brown accepts Express Scripts, Humana, Cigna, Medco, TennCare, and more.
And remember, it is by us, for us.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone. Please visit our Facebook page. I think it's Dialogue with Deidre Facebook page. I have a couple, so I'm just trying to remember. And also, if you want to ask the chairman of the Democratic Party a question, post it on the Dialogue with Deidre Facebook page, and even if he's gone, we'll make sure that he gets the question, and he will definitely respond, and we'll make sure we post it on Facebook. Also, visit DeidreMalone.com. Visit our website and learn a little bit more about what Deidre's doing in the community, specifically her run for Shelby County Mayor. At this time, we're going to talk to the chairman of the Democratic Party, Brian Carson. Welcome again to Dialogue with Deidre.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Oh, well, you're always welcome on our show. And you have a big event coming up. Talk to us about this dinner that's coming up this Saturday.
Well, we have the annual Kennedy Day banquet, which will be this Saturday, January 18th. We have the Congresswoman Barbara Lee. She represents the 13th District in California. So she'll be here. And we'll also have a panel discussion primarily made up of elected and appointed women. And they will be discussing certain challenges that they may face in running for and being elected for public office, as well as the grit needed to achieve and maintain those public and appointed seats. So it should be an interesting fundraiser.
I think that when you look at the fact that there are so few elected women, specifically here in Shelby County. If you look at the legislative bodies, for example, City Council,
Right.
2 females.
Right, exactly.
County Commission, 2 females, and what's interesting about that, specifically on the commission, one's a Democrat and one's a Republican.
Right.
So I'm glad to see that the party is looking at, women should be able to serve, and they will serve well if given the opportunity to be elected, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So talk to me about the tickets. How much are those tickets?
They're $100 a piece. The tables are $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I understand that the program book is already put to bed, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. How many people would you like to see come out to this event?
Well, right now we're right at like 200 to 250. The maximum capacity of the building at Bridges, which is 477 5th Street, is like 400, 450.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we still have some tickets that people can purchase.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay, and how do they purchase those tickets, Jeremy?
Well, they can call me on my cell, 901-314-4617, and I'll accommodate their request. Also, you can go online to our website, shelbydem.org, and you can purchase those online as well.
I want to talk a little bit more about the panel. When you think about the women that are going to be on this panel,
Right.
I mean, we're talking about a great deal of experience.
Absolutely, yeah.
Name some of the panelists that are participating.
We have former state senator Beverly Marrero, city court judge Sarah Cowell, former city court judge Sarah Cowell, former not election commissioner but school board commissioner Sarah Lewis. We also have state representative Johnny Turner. We have city appeals court judge Camille McMullen. Also, let me see if I'm forgetting anyone.
I'm trying to look and see.
Yeah.
I think that's
Sarah Cowell.
Sarah Cowell, Congressman Lee.
And Barbara Lee also, yeah, she'll be on the panel. And we actually have a wonderful moderator. I'm not sure if you've heard of her. She was former county commissioner as well. Her name is Deidre Malone.
And she's excited to be moderating too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is the panel, Chairman, that you've put together is outstanding. And then the wealth of information that these women can just offer potential Democrats that are interested, no matter what their gender is, in serving is going to be phenomenal. When I think about, Sarah Kyle, who had been advanced as someone who we wanted to run for governor, she's the only female, I believe, Democratic female, that has run statewide and won.
Absolutely, she did.
And so, I mean, she's a powerhouse in her own right. And when you think about, State Representative Johnny Turner, who
served for several years,
former, executive director for the NAACP here in Memphis, and then supported her husband for years as an elected official. And then when he passed, she ran and won his seat.
Yeah, when I talked to her about it, she was very excited, and she's looking forward to, providing the wealth of knowledge that she has from serving throughout the years. So it's going to be an exciting event.
I'm excited, and I hope Democrats come out. Talk to me, Chairman, about, we're not going to give away the party strategies for winning in 2014, but we know that there's strategies that exist and that you're working on them. But I do want Democrats who are watching this show to understand what, in your opinion, makes Democrats so different from conservative Republicans, specifically the Tea Partiers that are out there, basically, in my opinion, right now, running this state and running local government, specifically county government.
Well, basically, democracy, being a Democrat, we stand for the people. The decisions our elected officials make, who are Democrats, they make decisions based on the best interests of their constituents, which they serve. It's not about fattening their pockets. It's not about being conservative. It's more about being liberal. We're the Big Tent Party. We welcome everyone, regardless of their race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, whatever background. We welcome you to the Democratic Party, and we want to work for the people.
And we believe, you're absolutely right, we believe that every person has value.
Absolutely.
And so there's room under our tent. And sometimes I think we become really kind of apathetic about that, and we're like, let's just sit at home because government isn't doing anything for us. It doesn't matter whether or not we vote. What do you say to the person that's sitting out there that is just saying, I voted for X, Y, and Z and they hadn't done anything for me? What do you say to a citizen, specifically a Democrat that's sitting out there? What do you want them to believe about this 2014 election cycle?
Well, I would like for them to believe that the candidates that are running for the Democratic nomination, they are running and they have your best interests in heart. The Democrats will fight for you on a local level and a state level. I work with them every day. Now, you may not be able to see firsthand their efforts. I talk with legislators, and at times they feel like they're outnumbered. There are more Republicans in office on the state level than Democrats. So a lot of times they're up there, they're fighting for bills, they're fighting for legislation for Democrats, for people in this city, for money to go to our schools, for money to go to health care, etc. These people actually believe in people, giving Democrats a helping hand, a leg up. So come out and support the Democrats on our ticket in 2014.
What do you say, Chairman, to those Democrats, specifically those that sometimes cross over and vote for Republicans? Because in their minds, they believe that it really doesn't matter on the local level.
Yeah.
But it does.
Absolutely, it does matter. And they're not being a team player. And a lot of people they come up with the idea, why does it have to be partisan? Why can't it be about the people? Why do we have to do Democratic versus Republican? Well, when you look at it, the Democrats, that's what we believe in. We believe in for the people. Now, when you go to the Republican side, the decisions they make, they're not necessarily for the people. It's for big corporations. It's about big business deals. We're not on that level. We're trying to bring our people up. We want to give them opportunities for education, health care. We want to curb the crime in the area. We want to make the city more progressive to give people opportunities so our jobs can stay here in Memphis. Our college graduates can stay here and not pursue other careers in other cities and states. We want to make Memphis more progressive. So ultimately, at the end of the day, voting on a local level, democratically, it does affect us and it does count.
I'm glad to hear you say that because that's what we fight every 4 years.
Right.
The thought that it doesn't matter on a local level. And it really does because a lot of the important decisions that are made by, like you just said, about education funding,
right.
Those decisions are made and how that money's allocated,
right.
specifically when it concerns the health department or Planned Parenthood versus Christ Community, health centers.
Absolutely,
those important critical decisions that affect the lives of people here locally every day
right.
are made by local elected officials. So it does matter.
Right.
Right? And so what do you want to do, Chairman? You probably one of the youngest chairmen that we've had running our party. How do you want to energize and engage folk to get them involved in local Democratic politics?
Well, in today's society, what I've noticed is social media is taking our nation, the world, by storm. And so I'm going to get a young group of tech-savvy people, a little more tech-savvy than myself, and we're going to have a media team, and we're going to revamp our social media, Facebook, Twitter. We're going to get Instagram and things like that. And so we plan on engaging with people in this community on that level.
That's good. And I know at our last party meeting, I saw that the president of the Young Democrats from the University of Memphis campus.
Yeah, Charles Ufferman, yeah.
Yeah, he was at the meeting.
Yeah, I've been working closely with him. He's actually helping me out with a few things with Kennedy Day. He sent some interns over, and we have them working with us. So we're very engaged with the young people. We want them to learn and provide counsel to them and bring them up as young leaders in our community as well.
I think that's important. I'm very proud that Brian Malone is on the executive committee, and Brian is trying to help the chairman however he can.
Absolutely.
And we need to get our young folk engaged because at a certain point, I remember when I was, in my 20s and my 30s, and I was engaged in party work. And when the boys were coming up, I dragged them to the Midtown Democratic Club meeting, and so they grew up in it.
Yeah.
And so just like you did,
absolutely,
your mom had you knocking on doors, campaigning for folk.
Yeah, it did.
And so, and she's now a big national Democratic, party committee woman.
Yeah, she is.
And so she's big time. So it's like we have to start training our young folk.
They're our future.
They are our future. You are our future.
Yeah.
So before you get out of here, I want you to reiterate to our viewers what's going on Saturday night and why it's important for them to come out.
Okay, our annual fundraiser. This is the biggest fundraiser that we have annually for the Shelby County Democratic Party. It's our Kennedy Day banquet. It takes place this Saturday, January the 18th at Bridges, and it's located 477 5th Avenue. The tickets are $100 a piece, $1,000 a table. You can contact me via cell, 901-314-4617, or you can go to our website, www.shelbydem.org. To purchase those tickets. We have the Congresswoman from California representing the 13th District, Barbara Lee, coming in as our keynote speaker, and we have several women that will be serving on a panel discussion some of the challenges women face in running for and serving in public office.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to mention, and this is just a little historical tidbit, the Kennedy Day event was founded under your mother's chairmanship.
Yeah, yes, it was, and it's dear to me, and that's one reason I've been working tenaciously, and I've been determined to make it a success because of that. Yeah.
Excited about it.
Yeah,
excited
very
about
excited,
it.
yeah.
So, Chairman of the Shelby County Democratic Party, Mr. Brian Carson is our guest. The first half hour of the show. Chairman Carson, thank you so much for being on Dialogue with Deidre.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and we'll have him come back because we want to talk specifically when he comes back. It'll be probably after the Democratic primary, so he can gear everybody up for the general.
Absolutely.
So, Chairman, thank you so much for being on the show.
All right.
When we come back, author Latrivia Nelson, my Sarah, will be in the chair, and we're going to interview her about her new book that just dropped a couple of weeks ago, The World in Reverse. You're watching Dialogue with Deidre.
This past year, we all learned the statistics are true. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience child abuse, usually at the hands of someone they know. Child abuse happens every day. Learn the signs and take action, because keeping a child safe is everybody's business. Make a difference. Visit safehorizon.org to find out more. Safe Horizon, moving victims of violence from crisis to confidence.
Did you know that every 34 seconds someone has a heart attack? Every 40 seconds someone has a stroke? But it doesn't have to be that way. Every day there's hope. Join me and the American Heart Association and get serious about your heart and your health. If you're doing nothing, do something. If you're doing something, do more. Find healthy living solutions from the American Heart Association's My Heart, My Life. It's that simple.
I'm Dominique Dawes. How do you start your day? I always start with a healthy breakfast. Whether you're practicing for a game or studying for a test, eating breakfast every day can improve your concentration and help you perform your best. Kids who eat a healthy breakfast have more energy to work hard and play hard. That's why you should check out your school's breakfast program. It's for everyone, so make sure you energize your day. Eat school breakfast.
Taylor Brown is my drugstore.
No, Taylor Brown is my drugstore.
Taylor Brown is our community drugstore.
No hassle transfer, auto refills, as well as a $4 generic program. Taylor Brown offers deliveries to all customers, including care homes, senior citizens, and hospice.
Taylor Brown accepts Express Scripts, Humana, Cigna, Medco, TennCare, and more.
And remember, it is by us, for us.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone. Facebook us on the Dialogue with Deidre page. Let us know what you think about today's show. And if you have questions for author Latrivia Nelson, post them on the Dialogue with Deidre page. Now, I know our guest has her own Facebook page, so you're probably going to go there and you're familiar with her. She's the producer of Dialogue with Deidre, but this talented young lady is just a national bestseller in her own right. Latrivia, welcome back to Dialogue with Deidre.
Thank you for having me. I'm such a fan of your show.
Oh, I know you are, because you come up with all of the guests for the show. And I'm a fan of yours, Sarah, as we celebrate Hold the Pink and Green Founders Day. It's most appropriate that I have a Sarah on the show.
It is.
To talk
you definitely take care of your sorors.
I try real hard. And so we want to make sure that our viewers learn about your new book that you just dropped. Was it last week, week before last?
Week before last.
Okay. Talk to us about The World in Reverse.
Okay, The World in Reverse.
And I'm gonna hold this up real quick.
It's you know what I'm happy about? It was originally 747 pages. And we were able to condense this very, very large book into a little less than 450.
Oh, really?
So in terms of you being able to read it, you're still getting all of it. But we made the font a little smaller, and we were able to fit more in the book.
So, but that's the most you've written in a while, I believe, because was your first book
616 pages.
Okay.
It actually is a precursor to The World in Reverse. Ivy's Twisted Vine. It was the first book that I'd ever written. I was really excited about it, and it also was centered in Memphis. This is actually following the two main characters, Ivy Winters, who is now Ivy Agosto, and Nicola Agosto, which, he has his own cult following.
Right!
Women all over the world love him.
Now, I'm trying to remember, did Ivy have kids?
She had
twins.
She had twins, and the other counterpart in that story was Gray Henderson.
I remember.
So it was a political
Gray,
thriller.
was he the mayor's son?
He was the mayor's son in the book. He was the mayor's son in the book.
Okay.
So it was very spicy. During that time, she was very young, in college. You know, she wasn't sure if she was going to be with one gentleman because of his socioeconomic status in the community, or if she was going to be with this other guy who didn't fit the mix at all. But they were definitely more compatible in terms of what they thought they wanted in a life together.
Okay.
So we fast forward, should I say, 10 years later, and all of the excitement and all of the new honeymoon life is gone, okay? They've got a house full of kids, they're working, they're professionals. This is time now for true love. It's I'm here every day picking up underwear and cooking dinner because I love you. You know, so they have, in the world in reverse, although it is a crime thriller, you really get a chance to see, although it is an interracial relationship, the one thing that I bring out in this book is that no relationship, whether interracial or not, or anything else, it's based on just cosmetics. It's truly about people and how they feel about each other and how much they're willing to sacrifice for each other. And I think in this book you see that the main characters are definitely willing to sacrifice.
So talk to me about, I want to hear a little bit more about the book, but we don't want to give too much away because we want people to go either buy it
Barnes
or
& Noble, Books A Million, any bookstore in the U.S. that is connected to Bowker, you can purchase the book.
Okay. And so in terms of the genre in which you write, it's primarily interracial?
Yes. And you know, when I first started writing interracial books back in 2008, it was one of those things. It was a very small genre. And we were fighting for number one. It has grown tremendously. It's amazing. We have conventions. A friend of mine, and actually I can't say one friend, there are about 9 of us getting ready to, one of whom is a USA Today bestseller, a national bestseller, some of the others are national and New York Times bestsellers. We're all getting together to write a groovy book that'll be coming out, and
wonderful.
Really excited about it, a series of books, and so we're really excited about it, but we're amazed at how it's grown.
Okay.
It used to be a thing where you said you wrote interracial romance, and people looked at you sort of cockeyed, like, "What? Do they even do that?" You know. And so now it's just while it's still a subgenre, it has truly grown.
Do you know what your typical reader, the profile of your typical reader?
Yes. My typical reader is 25 to 35 years old. In the primary market, 25 to 35. She's educated professional, and 9 times out of 10 in one of the major metros.
Okay.
She's on the East Coast, the West Coast, Chicago. You know, she's maybe even, we have a very large following in Wisconsin. That's here. In London, again,
she did say international.
International.
Don't get it twisted, viewers.
In London, we have about 30 to 35, 30 to 40 years old. Again, single professional women. One of my dear friends is also an interracial romance author, and she's one of the best lawyers in London. She comes over once a year to visit. Her books are amazing. Check her out.
And now, what's her name?
Billy London.
Okay, Billy London.
Sienna Minks is here. Yvette Hines. The list is so long. Jaya, the Beautiful Trouble Publishing Group, they've done stuff. We all work together. You know, we're all so small. You know, 1, 2, 3 people at a company working together. Until we work across, you know, states, literally, across countries to help each other.
Okay, now Latrivia. So there's no true competition. Now everybody's trying to sell a book now.
Everybody's trying to sell a book. Now there's always competition. Okay. Let me say this. As competitive as I am, if I were to say that, you would have to slap my hand.
I know, it's like,
It's healthy competition.
Okay.
And we know how to work with each other. For instance, if I don't write paranormal romance, then I'm going to definitely give you a leg up and introduce you to my people, because that's not my thing.
Okay.
And a lot of times you can work together, you know what I mean, to help cross promote, because everybody knows that I write Russian mafia. I write crime thrillers about Memphis cops. I write love stories with the Lonely Heart series about just, random relationships. I have a niche. And people who are looking for a particular thing, they come to me. And then there are others who write all sorts of stuff, but people know when they come to me, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be like watching a movie, if you will, because it's going to start out, it's going to be a wonderful plot. We're going to have fun. Your characters are going to do all sorts of stuff. Read my stuff when you don't have anything else to do.
I can tell you as an avid reader, but I don't have a whole lot of time. But when I do, I try and be real selective about what I read. But on my last vacation, I think I shared with our viewers the last time you were on, I was in a beach. I downloaded maybe 3 of the ebooks, and then I had 2 that I just took with me. And it was non-stop, viewers. I mean, I was reading and then I was texting Latrivia. No, you didn't.
She was.
Really?
I was like, you're supposed to relax. What are you doing? He's like, this is so good. I was very honored, though. And we begged you to finally rest, and you picked up one of my books. So that was awesome.
And I picked up actually 3.
3.
And they were good.
The Lonely Heart series.
Oh, my goodness. And they were easy reads. So
that's the purpose.
And really good storylines.
Thank you.
Very, the continuity was really good, easy to follow, but it kept me engaged. Because, I'll put a book down. I'll be like,
As will I have over 1,000 books at home. It's ridiculous. I have over 1,000. I can't stop buying them. But I always go through the first chapter while I'm in the store.
Right.
Or if I'm reading on ebook before I purchase it, it says look now, to check it out. But if I'm in the store and I pick up a paperback, I'm going to read that first chapter before I buy it.
Okay.
Because I need to know that I'm not going to put it down. And I know how I am. So like even with The World in Reverse, you're already captivated in the first chapter. You know what's going on. I'm going to give you a prologue, tell you the backstory, tell you what's going on in the first chapter, and position you to determine whether or not, based upon the tempo of the first chapter, if you want to continue.
So now, Trivia, when we come back, we're going to continue our discussion on The World in Reverse with author Latrivia Nelson and get a little bit more into it, because I want to talk to her again about her publishing company as well, because there may be someone out there that thinks that they're an author and wants to write a book, and you may need to talk to her. So continue watching Dialogue with Deidre. We'll be back in a moment.
This past year, we all learned the statistics are true. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience child abuse, usually at the hands of someone they know. Child abuse happens every day. Learn the signs and take action, because keeping a child safe is everybody's business. Make a difference. Visit safehorizon.org to find out more. Safe Horizon, moving victims of violence from crisis to confidence.
You are now watching MUTV1.
Did you know that every 34 seconds someone has a heart attack? Every 40 seconds someone has a stroke? But it doesn't have to be that way. Every day there's hope. Join me and the American Heart Association and get serious about your heart and your health. If you're doing nothing, do something. If you're doing something, do more. Find healthy living solutions from the American Heart Association's My Heart, My Life. It's that simple.
I'm Dominique Dawes. How do you start your day? I always start with a healthy breakfast. Whether you're practicing for a game or studying for a test, eating breakfast every day can improve your concentration and help you perform your best. Kids who eat a healthy breakfast have more energy to work hard and play hard. That's why you should check out your school's breakfast program. It's for everyone, so make sure you energize your day. Eat school breakfast.
Taylor Brown is my drugstore.
No, Taylor Brown is my drugstore.
Taylor Brown is our community drugstore.
No hassle transfer, auto refills, as well as a $4 generic program. Taylor Brown offers deliveries to all customers, including care homes, senior citizens, and hospice.
Taylor Brown accepts Express Scripts, Humana, Cigna, Medco, TennCare, and more.
And remember, it is by us, for us.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Welcome back to Dialogue with Deidre. My guest is author Latrivia Nelson. I'm Latrivia. We're going to just dive back into it. Give us a little bit more, a few more tidbits on The World in Reverse.
The World in Reverse is really about Nicola Agosto, who was formerly a lieutenant but was busted down to a sergeant for his behavior. He protects his own, he protects cops, he protects everybody around him, the innocents, and when something happens, he tends to lose his temper. He's tapped by the brass to lead an investigation in a baby boy's case. It's a major case, the case that has come out of the city in over a decade.
Now, the baby boy case, is that kind of...
It's a case
crime.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a criminal case that's ongoing an investigation behind missing children. And so they've tapped him because he knows everyone in the city. He's got the relationships. He's worked in various departments, and he knows what he's doing. But he also is a family man, and he cannot help that fact that he's got all these kids at home with his wife, and 3 children are missing. And it affects him mentally and emotionally to know that these kids are missing. And so he is interrogating someone a little harshly. And within modern day Skyping and Facebooking and Instagramming, he's caught on tape roughing this guy up.
Oh, no.
But he has to redeem himself through a serious investigation, and he works together with a lot of different people. It's a crime thriller right here in Memphis, and I think a lot of people will enjoy that.
Good. Okay, so we need to let director Tony Armstrong know.
Check your box. There's one for you.
Good. And so the director's name is what? It's real close to Armstrong.
Amway.
So, director, she's not talking about you.
Not at all, but I think you will love his character in here because he's very strong.
He's
very strong.
I read that first paragraph and I thought, reminds me of Director Armstrong because it does have strong personality.
Strong personality. Yeah, strong morals and values and all about protecting the city. So
sounds like tea to me.
Sounds like tea to me too.
So, Latrivia, what else are you working on? Because I know, you've dropped this book, but you're constantly working on something else.
We have the Chronicles of Young Dmitry Medilov, which are short stories that my readers truly love. We have Volume 6 coming out this month, at the end of the month. Really excited about that short story because the women read those to get the backstory on Dmitry Medilov, and we have they call themselves the Medilovians. If you can imagine, I never intended this, but women from all walks of life, and this is where the age group changes. It goes from 25 to about 55.
Really?
Of women now. When we talk about the Medilovs, that age group goes, I would say 25 to even 60. Women who they call themselves the Medilovians. They love the books. They share conversations. They have their own website forums where they discuss the books and the characters and debate them. And
I love it.
Medilovians, all from the Medilov series. And we actually have a new merchandise line that'll be coming out in the spring for them, for coffee cups, everything from I'm a Medilovian coffee cup to I'm a Medilovian book bag. For just the true reader, the things that we need to read. We'll have a few things that'll be available.
Well, why not merchandise? I mean, that's the way of the future. A lot of people, like the author who wrote the whole Harry Potter series. I mean, she's a billionaire now, and it's because she merchandised. Not only did she have her books, but she merchandised
and movie rights and whatnot.
Let's talk about that. Any opportunities for movies for any of your books?
And I don't want to mention whom, but yes, we are in consideration by major motion producers. That came out all wrong.
But that's okay. We understand.
But yes, we're definitely in consideration, and we're really excited because we haven't gotten the no, and everybody knows that the no comes very quickly. The yes takes time, and we are sort of in that little period where it's taking time. But they're definitely considering us. They love the fact that we have a strong following, and that we have a true history with our characters, and there's a lot of research. My PhD studies were in criminal justice, and so I used that to be able to build characters who truly, if you tracked them back into the 90s, or late 80s, early 90s, you could see some of the same consistencies in terms of organized crime. So
let me just say, viewers, when I met her, she had a strong interest in joining the police academy.
Yes.
And I said, come on over and just be a PR person and you can write.
Right, and that's
so
exactly
that's what you're doing now.
Exactly.
You were headed to the police academy.
I was headed to be a cop. I mean, give me my gun belt.
So, Latrivia, we are going to be following The World in Reverse very closely.
Thank you.
And we wish you, as you already know, much success in all that you do. And we want to ask everybody to visit your website.
Yes, my website is www.latrivianelson.info. And there you can find a lot of different things, like how to participate in our social media, how to post things about books that are coming up, post questions, send emails, watch video from book trailers, read previous reviews, and to learn more about other readers, because we try very hard to connect our readers. We're in 128 countries.
That's
and
wonderful.
We try really hard to connect people so that they can keep the dialogue going.
Dialogue.
Love it. Exactly. It's a lot of fun. But I have to say, The World in Reverse was one of the hardest books. And I have to thank you, because I remember I would come into the office and I would moan and groan and just, I don't want to finish it. And I remember, just write the book.
And I think I said some other words.
You did.
As a part of that.
You did.
You
did. That's exactly what you said. But I remember I appreciate for the last 14 books that have come out of River House, they've also come out of the Carter Malone Group. So sweet. Thank you.
You're so very welcome. Well, we're so very proud of her. Go out and support author Latrivia Nelson, the newest book, The World in Reverse. And Amazon specifically, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, any major carrier of books will have the book. Okay, so we're so glad that she's our guest today.
Thank you.
Now, next week on Dialogue with Deidre, Latrivia's already lined these folk up. We're excited to have the Memphis Brow Girl. And Eddie, throw up the picture. So I'm telling you, I practice what I preach. This young lady is a young entrepreneur, and we're about to start the second annual Managing How Your Cookie Crumbles seminar, the free seminar that we did last year where we invited entrepreneurs to come out. Well, LaConda Wiggins is one that is a new entrepreneur who has her own brow business. We're going to have her come in and just talk about skin care and how to make yourself look good. And so we're excited about that, as well as exercising makes you feel good, and it helps clear up your mind and make sure that you're healthy. So we're going to have Dr. Ella Horton come in. And Eddie, throw up Dr. Ella Horton's picture. She's going to be our guest next week as well. And so she is a big-time fitness expert, and she also works with you on your nutrition, putting together a nutrition plan for you, and works with you on how you're supposed to work out to make sure that that you're healthy and that you can pull that weight off and just be a healthy individual. So we're excited to have LaConda Wiggins on. And Eddie did not get my picture up of Dr. Ella Horton, but that's okay. She'll be in the studio next week for Dialogue with Deidre. As we wrap up our show, I want to again wish my Saras of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated a happy Founders Day, and we're so excited that we've been around over 100 years. How many years, Latrivia?
106.
106, 1908, I think we were founded, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so to all of the Saras out there, happy Founders Day. And again, to my husband. Yeah, my sister gets tired of me saying that he's nice looking, but he is. I married a nice-looking man. Don't be a hater-rater, okay? Happy birthday to you, sweetheart, and I will cook you dinner tonight. So to all our viewers that are watching Dialogue with Deidre, thanks so much for watching today, and we'll see you next Wednesday right here at MUTV1.com. God bless you and keep you. Have a great week.
This past year, we all learned the statistics are true. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience child abuse, usually at the hands of someone they know. Child abuse happens every day. Learn the signs and take action, because keeping a child safe is everybody's business. Make a difference. Visit safehorizon.org to find out more. Safe Horizon, moving victims of violence from crisis to confidence.
You are now watching MUTV 1.